Mais comment ça va, everybody? We about to start the show us. I'm Dr. Butt, and on Wednesdays, we're going to do the Dr. Butt the Science Nut Show. Well, welcome everybody to the Dr. Butt the Science Nut Show. This is a Wednesday live stream where we talk about science. And we're going to talk about science and scientific issues and our daily lives. You ever watch that Bill Nye the Science Guy? I'm like that fella. I'm every bit as smart as Bill Nye the Science Guy, me. And I'm as smart as that Neil deGrasse Tyson fella. Every bit as smart, me. So today I brought y'all in. We're going to talk about Hurricane Florence. Is that what it's called? The Hurricane Florence? Alright, we're going to talk about that Florence, that Category 3 storm out in the Gulf. I mean, out in the Atlantic. And why did it not come to the Gulf? What's going on? Let's look at a graphic. I love looking at graphics, me. I love it. If y'all just joining in, this is Dr. Butt the Science Nut. So this is Hurricane Florence. We're going to talk about how Hurricane Florence is going to the Atlantic and it's not coming to us. And why. Now we can think about it. Let's think logically and use scientific theory and method. What's going on in places like Charlotte, North Carolina, that we refuse to let go on here? In like, for instance, Lafayette, Louisiana. What they got going on in Charlotte that would invoke the wrath of God like that? Let's think about it. I'll produce some evidence, me. Carolina, story time. This Carolina story time with Ariel. First of all, I think this man dressed up as Ariel has really pissed off King Trident. And beyond that, I think the Christian God has something to say about a man dressed up. Wait, why the video ain't playing? It's playing on my end. But they got this man dressed up as as Ariel telling stories to kids in Charlotte, North Carolina. And for some reason, which cannot be coincidence, that storm is barreling towards North Carolina. There we go. There's my graphics. Y'all see it now? I was having a little bit of technical issues, but I think we got it now. Here, the story time with this man dressed as Ariel, telling stories to kill children in North Carolina, and the storm, much like the Cajun devil, gets angry about that, and is going straight towards Charlotte, North Carolina. And King Trident is going to drown all the Carolinians and Virginians in a great biblical type flood of wrath. That's my opinion. Does anyone else have any kind of other counter opinion to my theory as to why the storm has avoided us here in a place that refuses to have drag queen story time and is going to the heart of drag queen story time, Charlotte, North Carolina? I mean, if you can offer some kind of proof, evidence, theory, all you liberals, I want to hear it. I'm Dr. Butt. I invented the ass spray. I know what I'm talking about, me. I got a PhD in general studies from LSUE. But moving on, I'm gonna field questions about science, and you're gonna ask me questions about why the world is the way it is, and I'm gonna answer them on Dr. Butt the Science Nut. Let me get rid of this drag queen. Hold up. She gone? Is she gone yet? That drag queen out of here, Ariel? All right. I think I got rid of her. So, welcome to the Dr. Butt the Science Nut. Every bit as smart as Bill Nye. And I believe in Jesus. I got something for all you, what do they call that, the Common Core math? 1 plus 1 equals the number of genders that there are. So make your little number groups, your little number cards, and that you draw the little numbers in. Draw 1 in one number group, and then draw 1 in another number group. That's how many genders there are. 2. I'm Dr. Bud, the science nut. Come on, I feel questions. That's what makes the show fun. Y'all ask a question about science, I give y'all a bullshit answer that I come up with from the top of my head. How do hurricanes form? Well, they form in Africa, actually. On the coast of Africa, near Kenya, where all horrible things are from. Things that want to destroy America. Not speaking to anybody in particular. Wouldn't want to out nobody, you know, and name somebody by name from out there in Kenya. You know, that's beneath me. But yeah, hurricanes form in Kenya, like Barack. And they hang out in the Gulf, and they look for weaknesses in America, like drag queens in North Carolina. They build up strength from all the arguing on Facebook about Trump. They get stronger and stronger. They feed off all that. And then they start coming towards, and they're looking for a place where there's some drag queens. And they look towards Lafayette, and they're like, wait a minute, they don't want drag queens there at all. They see them in Virginia. They see them in North Carolina at the story time. They're like, let's go. They're getting stronger and stronger all the time. At least that's my opinion as a PhD in general studies. Yes, the climate affects the Saints. It affects Drew Brees. He's old. The climate, if he gets them joints, all them rheumatisms, which I recommend you spray Aspray directly on the joint. Because I think, it's my theory, that bacteria gets in the joints of old people. So Aspray would probably cause the Saints to win again. Why don't more hurricanes strike Lafayette? Because we refuse drag queens. I told y'all that. That's why it's not it's a shimmercane. That's next if the liberals get their way. Why don't hurricanes have Cajun names? Like the nicknames like Nunu and stuff like that? Or like Alcide and Colinda. General studies. I'm a PhD in general studies. I'm a master of things in general. Now, if you ask me anything specifically, I'm going to have to give you a bullshit answer off the top of my head. But in general, I am a certified expert. Hurricane Boudreaux got too drunk to make landfall. That would be the report. Hurricane Boudreaux is too drunk to make landfall and found a lot of fish in the Gulf to occupy himself with. The best beer to drink during a hurricane, that goes by the category and how long you're going to be shut in for. If it's short, you want that high volume, high alcohol content. If it's a long storm and it's sustained and you're stuck inside the house, there's two strategies to go by. Go out early and stay out long, or ride it out, drink slowly. Do that morning drinking. What type of gumbo is acceptable for hurricane parties? I think any type of gumbo is acceptable for hurricane parties. I want like a high content of pork meat, like, you know, pork and sausage and tasso, because that's been processed and cooked and smoked so much. You can leave that out. You can leave that out during a hurricane and be alright. If it's just sausage and tasso, I ain't gonna go bad. That's smoked and then you cooked it and boiled it and you smoked it again. That's fine. You can leave that out. And if not, if it collects too much bacteria, we all know what kills bacteria. Man, I don't know why people on the East Coast stop up on Vienna sausage and potted meat, and people in Houma, they eat that potted meat. And it's like me, I'm surrounded by butchers and meat men. I would never eat a canned meat. Go give me a link of boudin. Yes, I agree. Tomato gumbo is an abomination upon both science and religion. You saw Mr. Robert Cowboys. His wife is gonna find out now, and when his wife finds out, oh, he's gonna be in all kinds of hell, partner. What's the mosquito update? What else y'all got? Mosquito. There's a mosquito update. Man, they got them little ones now with the little white stripes on them. They little tiny mosquitoes, and they black and they got white stripes on them. Like, what is these venom mosquitoes from Spider-Man comics? The little symbiotic mosquitoes. Got the weirdest little mosquitoes now. You know, Silence of the Lamb, death head mosquitoes. How do you get rid of tomato gumbo? Flush it down the toilet. I'm Dr. Bud, the science nut. Alright, I'll answer up to 3 more questions. That's some little tiny drones. Kim Mike Sumrall said, that's some little tiny man-made drone mosquitoes. Right. No, I did not make Boudreaux's butt paste. I was an intern. I was involved in the project, but I did not. I'm not the Boudreaux that made the butt paste. I'm Dr. Butt. I made ass spray. It kills bacterium. Duck gumbo, that's great. That's not really a science question. Is it acceptable to ice beer in a washing machine? I have no problems with that. I wouldn't turn it on. I see no scientific issues with that. Like, hurricane fence really doesn't do anything about a hurricane. A hurricane fence will not stop the hurricane. That is a myth. I debunked that myth. Somebody's asking about eating the hurricane food. I don't really know. I like the barbecue. If I have to, I'll bring the pit inside the house for a hurricane if the weather's too bad outside. But yeah, this was Dr. Butt the Science Nut. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. What made the first caveman decide to eat the next thing that fell out of chicken's butt? An egg. I mean, I'm sure the first cavemen were much like coon asses, and they have a saying in coon ass country, and I eat that too. Whatever part it is or whatever it fell off of it, we eat that too. Hey, go catch that turtle. You go catch the turtle. Don't forget the eggs, nag. They eat that too. They eat that too. That's what they do. They eat that too. Yeah, apparently the mosquitoes in Church Point have learned how to disrobe you to get better access to the veins and such. Go Tigers. Yes, that is scientifically accurate. I'm going to skip some of these questions. Cool some rice. No, cook the rice. Comme ça. Dr. Butt, do you think the hurricane activity is the result of global warming? Is that even real? You need to go back to the beginning when I explained the hurricanes and why they're not coming here. And I'm going to end the video shortly so y'all can go back and watch the beginning. Hurricanes turn one way and tornadoes turn the... That's how it is? I mean, of course that's how it is. I'm Dr. Butt, the expert on weather. NLTs. Yeah, you gotta have daiquiris. You get that gallon. You gotta get 2 gallons of daiquiris to ride out a storm. Cajun delaying a hurricane? It can... Dr. Butt will formulate a Cajun delaying hurricane machine that uses the centrifugal force of the hurricane and the winds to convection cook a pig. How much rice do you need for a sea turtle? They're not that much bigger than a regular turtle, are they? I mean, when a big alligator turtle and a big alligator snapper, that's not sea turtle size? Barbecue a possum? Nah, I don't know. I don't eat that. I eat coons. But yeah. Well, I've gotten through all the questions. We've been on about 23 minutes. That's about how long I like to run a Dr. Butt show. You can't run Dr. Butt too long. Good. So give me one more question. Final question for Dr. Butt. I'll field one more. And then y'all can go back and watch my explanation of why hurricanes come and why they avoid Lafayette. Last question. Anybody? And not about rice. No, but go back to the beginning. It'll be funny. Alright. I'm Dr. Butt. On Wednesdays, it's Dr. Butt the Science Nut. On Saturdays, it's the Dr. Butt Show, which is just like Dr. Oz. I'm every bit as smart as that fella, and every bit as legitimate, non-hack doctor as that fella, Dr. Oz. Just like I'm every bit the legitimate scientist as Bill Nye the Science Guy. So thanks for watching another installment of Dr. Butt the Science Nut. Tune in this Saturday for the Dr. Butt Show, which is medical based, like Dr. Oz. Thank y'all very much. You want a turducken? Next time we'll talk about the scientific cooking of a turducken. I promise, Mike Fatno. Thank you for watching Dr. Butt. Please subscribe to Cajun Nerd Media. That's this Facebook page I'm most probably on right now. Thank you for watching Dr. Butt.